Good morning. It's Tuesday, 7:26, and I am making the iced coffee I pre-prepped last night. And I'm getting ready to leave in a few minutes. Hold on. This morning hasn't gone exactly as planned. I did go to bed relatively on time last night. I got in the bed at about 10 o'clock. The goal was always to get in bed at 9:30 because my alarm goes off at about 4:30 so that I can exercise before work. And the alarm did go off at 4:30, but it was silent, so I never heard it. And you know, you're sleeping and you're like, I really feel like there's too much sunlight in this room right now for me to have not missed my alarm. That's what happened, and I woke up at 5:37 to be exact, which is not enough time for me to exercise and get ready. So I did not exercise. I think this is the straw. No. I just want to make sure I have the right straw. I did not exercise. So now the dilemma is, will I just not exercise today? But then I always experience guilt when I don't exercise on days that I'm technically supposed to exercise. And if you haven't figured out, I am very type A. Or Wolfie loves ice. He doesn't want a dog treat. He doesn't want a bone. He wants a piece of ice as often as possible. Or will I come home and exercise after work, which I did a few times last week. I don't like doing it for multiple reasons because A, I don't like exercising with makeup on my face. B, by the time I get home from work, I'm tired and the thought of vigorously moving my body is unappealing. And there is no C, it's just those two reasons. So I don't know, but I'm going to open the blinds. I have my coffee, I have my lunch from last night, and then I'm going to leave. And I'm going to go to work. So I'll see you later. It is 8:17. I'm on my prep period until 9 o'clock. And what I've just been doing is getting my leadership evaluations organized. I do teach the 8th grade leadership class, and I don't really talk about that class a whole lot. Not for any reason in particular, like it never really crosses my mind to do that. But I know that every year my intention is to include that information a little bit more in case there's some of you out there that teach leadership or are just curious as to what that looks like. So this year, because I want the class to be taken more seriously by the students involved and, you know, students and staff on campus, as well as I want to legitimize the class more so that it mimics a ASB class as much as possible. They are getting evaluated at the end of every trimester. And I think I got this evaluation form or these categories from a session I went to at the CATA conference in March of last year, which is a conference for teachers that teach ASB or leadership classes. So let me see if I can show one without showing a name really quickly. Supposed to know we'll cooperate. So it looks like this, and I don't remember how many categories there are. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 categories that have different point values. And in total, a student can score up to 150 points when all these categories are combined. And so some of the categories are like, do they meet the basic expectations? Do they have positive leadership qualities? Do they have a positive attitude toward the class? Are they showing respect to teachers, staff, and students? Are they acting as role models? Do they have a good work ethic? Are they respectful when their classmates are speaking in class and things like that? And then I just kind of scored them based on what I saw and their actual work. So like one of the big things they had to do this year is they had to get 20 hours of community involvement hours, which means community service hours that either service the school directly or the school district as a whole. And so they had to get 20 hours, or they have to get 20 hours per trimester. And if they did, they got the 20 points total in that category. If they didn't, they got whatever percentage of the hours they got is the percentage of points they got in that category. And so then I added all these points together, and then they get an overall score. I think the overall score and a percentage, I think the lowest percentage that I have was like an 83%, which is still pretty good, because it's hard to just completely fail this evaluation unless the child is just a terrible student. Like, and if that's the case, they wouldn't be in the class in the first place. So I had to get those organized because I would like to go over those with them in class today. That is my first period, which is a little stressful because we also have a rally coming up the first Friday of December, and they are still, I think it's finalized, but they've said this before and it wasn't finalized to my expectations, the rally script. And so time is tight because it's already November the 7th. We have a whole week off for Thanksgiving break. And then essentially when we come back, the rally is going to occur soon after that. And I don't really get the sense that they're understanding how pressed for time we are. So I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do in class today, because I do need to see that script and we do need to get MCs established, and that needs to start happening. But I also need to get these evaluations shared with them in a timely fashion. So I'll probably end up doing that and hope for the best with the script. So that's what I was working on. As far as the rest of my prep period, I need to grade some study sync assignments that I need to put in, and that's really it. Class is going to be pretty light today. We're reading the 2 chapters of The Firekeeper's Daughter, chapters 11 and 12. And then we're going to read lesson 5, section 2 of the history textbook, where we're just talking about the early colonial actions that eventually feed into the cause of the Revolutionary War. So we're probably going to do some sort of reading strategy. I think I'm going to do jump-in reading, which is another strategy that I learned from one of the trainings I went to. And it's supposed to be culturally responsive and support students who have what's called verbal overlap, or, well, just let's verbal overlap. It's also called conversational patterns. But basically, I'm a verbal overlapper, and people that are verbal overlappers, when you're in conversation and someone's talking, you don't necessarily wait for your turn to talk. You tend to talk like as they're talking, not in a rude way, but that's just the nature of how you tend to carry conversations. So I always tell kids in my household, like when we're having a conversation as a family or as a group, we're not necessarily talking one at a time. Sometimes we're all talking all over each other, but we don't perceive it to be rude. Like, that's just how our conversations run. So this strategy feeds into students that may have that background and are more comfortable speaking in that way, because essentially what it is someone starts reading. They have to read, I think, a minimum of a sentence. And then they read until someone decides they want to jump in and pick up where that person is. So that's where you get that verbal overlap, or that conversational pattern. And so I think that's what we're going to do, just so that there's some sort of responsiveness to the way that we read in class, and that they're not just always listening to me read. So we're going to read that section and then answer the questions, and that's pretty much what we're going to do today. And then tomorrow we'll really start getting ready for the Colonial Fair. Tomorrow's my observation. I got that lesson plan submitted, and I think they need to finish their introductory statements, because I don't think they all finished those today. So today is pretty straightforward and easy. So I don't want to talk too much because I have things to do, but that's what's up right now. School's over. It's 2:33, and I have a meeting in about 10 minutes. I have a PBIS meeting. That is one of the committees that I'm on. And I'm going to attend that meeting, and that's all I'm going to say. I have mixed emotions about it. I know that it's like a trigger acronym for a lot of teachers. I'm on that committee because I'm the leadership teacher, and the whole house system is something that I introduced to the school, and theoretically that should support PBIS efforts, but we don't necessarily have all teachers on board with using that system the way it's designed. But the theory is like having me on that committee helps to some degree. I don't even remember why. I think I initially volunteered to be on the committee because I kind of needed to know what behaviors we wanted to reinforce. Like, what are behaviors that you want students to earn points for, which is fine and good, but there are some teachers that just don't believe students should be getting points for certain behaviors. And if that's the case, then what's the point of me being on the committee at that point? That's how I feel. But I'm gonna go to it because it's my responsibility. And then I'm probably gonna go home and try and get the things on my list done that I haven't gotten done. I need to switch the kids in their leadership committees. I have 6 different committees in my leadership class, and it's supposed to switch every trimester, and I haven't had a chance to get the committees moved around and switched, although we're in the 2nd week of the 2nd trimester. I still need to grade the study sync first read questions because kids kind of want to know where they stand with that. I have some personal phone calls I need to make, like I need to call the cable company, and some other personal business I need to attend to. I need to send an email out about the winning house or the leading house celebration. And I need to make a quiz for the firekeeper's daughter tomorrow. And walk Woofy. And maybe exercise, since I didn't get that done this morning since my alarm went off, but produced no sound, so I didn't hear it. And I need to get home earlier because daylight savings, and I need to get home to walk Woofy before it gets dark. So all in all, in general, the day went well. I don't really have any complaints. I do feel like, and I'm gonna knock on wood or particle board or whatever this desk is made out of, I do feel like there are some kids that are kind of now realizing like, oh, I really need to get my act together in the 2nd trimester. I think that some of them really just thought that their 1st trimester was gonna somehow magically work itself out, or that the amount of effort they were putting in previous grades was going to be enough for this grade. I don't really know. Like, it's hard for me to know why it took so long this year or with this particular set of kids, but it seems like we're on the right path. Is that noise? So that's good. We read The Firekeeper's Daughter. We read 2 chapters. I feel like this is the first book where I feel as though both males and females are equally interested, which was one of the other reasons why I picked the book, because I felt like it's a storyline that could appeal to both males and females. Of course, there's like an element of a love story in it, but I feel like every time you read YA novels, there's always a love story somewhere. But I think the story of this investigation of this drug ring that's happening, and this main character being like an undercover person, kind of engages more males than the other books might, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm not being super articulate, so that's good. But yeah, I'm rambling. I'm gonna go to this meeting now and go home and see what I decide to do when I get there. Part of me wants to exercise because I should, but another part of me just doesn't. So we'll see, especially because I have things that I need to do. So meeting time. No. I'm home now. It's about 4:45. My meeting ended probably about an hour ago. I went back to my class, grabbed my things, and I was stopping to say bye to Taylor. Then of course we started talking for a little bit, and hold on. And then a couple other people came in and we talked for a little bit, and then I went home. And here I am. I'm not going to be walking Woofy because as I was going home, it started to rain. It's not raining anymore, but I'm a wimp and I'm just not going to walk him because the weather doesn't seem super stable, so it could start raining at any moment. And I'm not going to work out because I'm just not, and I'm not going to feel guilty about it. I'm going to let that go. But what I am going to do is try and get myself together for tomorrow. Find what I'm gonna wear and pack my lunch and do all those things and sit on the couch and get the work done that I haven't been able to get done in front of the fireplace, because it just seems like a cozy thing to try and do. So that's the plan, is I have to send out an email for sure, and I need to work on grading some things and everything else that I mentioned on my list. It's probably not all going to get done tonight, but I'll make some progress. So I'm going to end the vlog here. Again, I don't know like how this is going to go. Like, my intention is to kind of upload daily for a bit, which sounds like a lot, but it's really not that hard. And in some ways it's easier because there's less footage to wade through, which makes the editing process pretty short. But that's my intention. But as we know how things have gone with me this past year, I might suddenly disappear. I'm going to try not to, but it's just the reality of things, and I have to make sure to take care of myself first. So if I ever feel overwhelmed by uploading every day or even uploading at all, I reserve the right to pause or stop. So, you know, just kind of keep that in mind. And why don't you let me know in the comment section if you are interested in seeing how things are going on a day-to-day basis, really just to kind of document what teaching is like right now, because I don't think it's the same as it was 10 years ago, but really even just a few years ago. Let me know in the comment section. If you enjoyed the vlog, give it a thumbs up. If you want to just support me through this very difficult year that I'm having, give me a thumbs up. But as always, I hope that you are well, and if you are not well, please be well. And I plan to see you tomorrow. So I will see you then.